Welcome to our first recap video. I always enjoy seeing recaps from other creators of all they did in a year because I feel like it's very easy to forget all that goes on in 12 months. And as we were revisiting our year, we were like, wow, we did some amazing things this year. So this is gonna be a tradition to make a end of year recap / share our goals for the next year.
Let me tell you, 2022 was an incredible year.
We started out the year bringing our last newborn baby home, which was emotional. We spent the first month of the year just adjusting to newborn life again.
Our fifth and final baby just hit different.
And in the month of February, after a month of adjusting, we decided that it was finally time to start creating our YouTube videos, and we started sharing about our content creator journey.
It was so fun to be working together and to be working on things that we were very passionate about. For the first time in what felt like a very long time, we were working in spaces that truly fulfilled us, and we finally owned how we spent the hours in each day.
During the month of February, we took our first family getaway as a family of 7, and on this trip, we had some serious conversations about the possibility of full-time traveling.
On the ride home, we began discussing what those options looked like, and we both landed on RVing. It was always my dream to do van life across the US, and we said, why not with our family of 7, RV all 50 states.
So we got back from this trip and immediately visited several RV dealerships to start our RV hunting journey. And we realized that we probably needed to do a little bit more research.
So we put RV shopping on pause and we began preparing for our next big trip as a family to Hawaii. Hawaii had always been on my bucket list, and it was the first time that my mom ever saw blue water, and it was her last trip before her battle with cancer ended. Going to Hawaii for me was a way of experiencing closure, and I truly felt that with each crashing wave and sunset, her presence was felt.
So we got back from Hawaii and immediately jumped into our next big project, which was to flip the first house that we ever lived in.
We wanted to turn it into an Airbnb to bring in some passive income to support our traveling.
And after that, we finally got to fulfill another one of Josh's dreams that was finally justifiable, which was to buy a big truck.
It truly was a dream come true. I'm not a car person, but something about the truck really was, what am I trying to say? I'm not a car person, but it was like, I do enjoy my truck.
We finally had a reason to buy a truck because we need to pull an RV with it is what we planned and thought at the time. After a month or two of working on our rental and it was almost done, my parents start mentioning another trip that we thought for sure we could not pull off after just going to Hawaii. But then they told us that they found flights for $67 and we said we are all in.
And by the end of planning, we were going to 4 different countries.
So we started a trip with Panama, and specifically we went to the San Blas area where we got to experience one of our most surreal family adventures ever.
We stayed on a sailboat for 3 days. It was the coolest thing to sleep underneath the stars, to sail from island to island, experiencing what the true natives in San Blas experience.
And then we headed to Costa Rica, which had been a huge bucket list item for forever. We started out experiencing an amazing volcano right in front of our hotel and an awesome resort with a bunch of natural spring pools.
Our kids were jumping in and out of all the natural hot springs, and I'm not gonna lie, we enjoyed relaxing for a little bit after a very hectic start to the trip.
Then we got to experience a tropical forest from above as we explored Monteverde and saw sloths in their natural habitat.
Followed by my favorite, surfing in Paco Beach.
Next, we stayed in an amazing place where monkeys greeted you in the morning, in the afternoon, and possibly even stole your food while fighting over it.
Or a boat ride where they literally came and sat on my shoulder. From Costa Rica, we went on to Guatemala, where we endeavored to take on the greatest road trip, and we finally arrived at Lake Atitlan.
This lake was so beautiful and peaceful. It's surrounded by 4 different volcanoes, and we got to go on a boat that took us from village to village where we experienced other people's culture, how they made their clothes, how they grew coffee, and all these amazing, unique encounters.
It was really cool to see our kids dropped into truly the most diverse cultural experience they've had to date.
And finally, we ended our trip in Mexico, where we got to experience pyramids. We went to these amazingly beautiful natural hot springs.
And we finished off our trip in Mexico City, where we enjoyed lots of great street food and cultural sites.
After our trip, we immediately dove into RV shopping, where I pretty much had a panic attack and realized that this was a big decision that we had just made.
We went to the RV dealership, not really intending to make a purchase, but we found an RV that truly fit our entire family's needs, and we decided to pull the trigger.
2 weeks later, as we were planning to finally hit the road after months of talking about it, we were approached about an incredible opportunity that we were gonna expand more on in another video.
We were approached about possibly shooting for a TV show.
So we decided to make the most out of the season we were in, and we filled our days with summer adventures and exploring our own backyard.
We started with a trip to the mountains to visit Karen's sister, where we even got to experience our first time at the circus as a family. The kids had an absolute blast. From there, we went to their mountain cabin house, where we enjoyed a few days of relaxation.
We also managed to squeeze in another vacation to Hilton Head, one of our favorite family destinations, and we spent so much time outside exploring the beach, the river, the forest, and the swamps.
Our favorite thing about Hilton Head Island is how bike-friendly it is. We literally biked everywhere. No, seriously, we even biked on the beach, which I think was the kids' favorite part.
Getting to experience Hilton Head was the reminder that we needed, that we didn't have to go too far to enjoy the beauty of nature.
Then we slowed down heading into the end of the year, where we spent the holidays with the people that matter most to us.
And wrapping up the year by celebrating not 1, but 2 of our kids' birthdays. So as you can see, 2022 was an amazing year, and because of that, we have set some amazingly high goals for 2023.
Our 2023 didn't start quite how we had planned. We began the year with a house fire, so we immediately pumped the brakes on what we had planned.
House fire on our rental, not our house.
I do think that it came at the perfect timing, giving us the pause that we needed to reflect on what we had planned and make sure that we were leaving on the best of terms.
So one of our biggest goals is always centered around family. Family is the root of everything that we do, and we hope that that comes through in everything that we share, from our TikToks to our YouTube videos. This lifestyle that we're creating is so that we can spend more time as a family with our kids. That being said, we have been trying to create ways for us to be better prepared, to be more intentional and present as we spend time as a family, whether it's traveling or at home.
So our first focus this year was business growth, increasing our passive income streams and current social opportunities.
One of the ways that we're gonna add passive income, we're not gonna go into too much detail on all of these, but we do want to be transparent on how we're planning on that, because we hope to encourage some of you to create forms of passive income. We're gonna start creating Amazon product videos, which is a way to monetize on Amazon if you're an Amazon influencer. We're able to create videos, share them on Amazon, and if people watch our video and then purchase, we get a small commission from that.
And the second way that we're going to do it is through digital products. There's so many different ways that you can do digital products, but Karen and I have always been passionate about creating products and services that you do one time that continually pay out.
So this is gonna look like maybe planners, templates, cards, designs. We hope to use some of our travels to inspire things like stickers and designs to put on t-shirts and things like that.
And of course, YouTube. One of our biggest goals is to grow our YouTube account this year. It's been awesome recording memories for our own family, and we've enjoyed so much being able to watch them, but we have really big plans for where we want to take our channel in 2023.
I will say it is so much work to do YouTube, so much, and it's so worth it because it's, like we said, it's for ourselves, and our kids love already watching the videos that we have put out, which are not that many, but it's a huge goal, but it's so time consuming. It really takes a lot of sacrifice to continue to show up on YouTube, but we do think that the long-term potential of eventually having passive income is worth it, as well as capturing all the memories that we're getting.
Expanding on some of the current ways that we make money, specifically around brand collaborations, one of our desires is to develop deep, long-term relationships with brands that we're well aligned with. And for me to be able to bring my own side of things into our business through photography and user-generated content.
So some of our goals for social media is to hit 10K on YouTube, which we're almost at 2,000, and that's something I'm super super happy. Thank you so much for being here.
Subscribe and like, please.
We're hoping to hit 500,000 on TikTok. We are aiming for 250,000 on Facebook. And I've been trying literally for the last 6 years to hit 10K on Instagram. And I'm hoping that maybe this will be the year that Instagram decides to like us.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know, this year I actually started my own TikTok account. So if you feel so led to come and give me a follow, you'll see more of the behind the scenes of what it's like as a traveling dad with 5 kids.
One of our goals as well for social media is to create an engaged community. And on some of the platforms that we're on, it's very hard to receive comments or get messages because honestly, a lot of times we don't see them, and I feel really bad because I'll see a comment that was asked a month ago asking a very specific question. On YouTube, we do have this opportunity where we don't get as many comments, and so every comment that we do get, we can answer. We're hoping that YouTube can be a place where our closer friends or more engaged community comes and connects with us.
I think the biggest desire for me with social media is for it to not feel like the perfect Instagram reel or like this disconnect, but that we're actually drawing people into our lives and maybe even connecting with you in person and establishing relationships beyond the screen that you're seeing us through. While we had to press pause at the beginning of the year, our goal still is to travel full time at some capacity. At some point, we are gonna leave to full-time RV the US, and we do have a vision for international travel.
I think right now we're just trying to not get overly excited about going on this adventure that we really want to do and make sure that we are doing what's best for us as a family to make sure that we are really well prepared when we head out on this epic journey.
As a photographer and videographer, it's my passion to capture the people and places that we visit, and this is really a big motivation for us wanting to get out and travel.
One of our big priorities this year as a family is for us as parents to be able to slow down and be present with our kids. We are in a very busy season of life, and we are very grateful for the privilege that we have to be with our kids all the time, but sometimes it's easy to take it for granted when you're with them all the time.
A lot of times it's really easy to catch ourselves on our phone in the same room with them, but not actually being present.
So we are focusing some of our energy into spending more time outside with them, spending time every morning doing our Bible time as a couple and with the kids.
One of the things that we've really been trying to be more intentional about is making healthy choices in the kitchen and being more active. The final thing we want to focus on this year is giving back. We've been so blessed and we want to pay that forward. So we've been talking about ways to be able to give back to those in need, and one of them is in memory of my mom, and we're calling it the Dawn Blessing. And we're gonna do another video explaining exactly what that is, but that looks like wanting to bless a family in every single state that we visit. However, we've been wrestling with how to go about that. While we would love to be able to bless families in every single state that we go, it is a lot to take on ourselves. And being that we want to develop an engaged, close-knit community, we were wondering if you would want to partner with us in blessing families in all the areas that we go. We've talked about setting up a Patreon to be able to raise support to bless these families, and honestly we just don't know the best way to go about it.
We would just love some input from you guys to see how you think we could do this. We also want to have a way where people that are from these states can nominate someone they know. We want to be able to impact people that are known by someone so that we know it's going to the best hands possible.
Yeah, we want you to be heavily involved in the process of blessing other people so that you can share in the return blessing of being able to be a part of that.
As we travel, we hope the opportunity to bless some of our followers by giving away experiences or even travel gear, just anything to encourage people to travel, even as simple as a water bottle. We hope to partner with some brands that will sponsor us and help us be a blessing to others.
Our mission as a family, a traveling family, is to inspire other families to get outside and travel as well. I think one of the stigmas is once you have kids, you can't travel and enjoy these experiences, and we just want people to know that's not true.
If you're still watching, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please, it takes just a second, and we really hope that you will stay engaged in our community.
We have a lot of great content in store this year that we look forward to sharing with you. Let us know if you'd like for us to start doing Q&As about family, travel, or business.
See you soon.
Ta-ta for now.
Thank you so much for being here those 5
hours.
Okay. Let's say comments and followers. Oh.
Fodders.
Fodders.
Fodders. Got lots of fodders and mudders.